Hello, fellow fools, and welcome to your timeless pick a card reading with yours truly. My name is Bren Bigelow. I use they, them pronouns, and I will be guiding you through this magical tarot experience. Now, as I said at the beginning, this is a timeless reading. So anytime that you're listening to this, you are welcome to receive any of these messages. That said, we are focusing on the energies of what time that we're recording during a new moon in Scorpio. And to talk a little bit about Scorpio, right now especially, we have so much Scorpio energy in the sky because not only is it Scorpio season with the sun in Scorpio, but the moon is there as well, and so is Venus. And just a few moments ago, Mercury retrograded back into Scorpio. So we are really in the depths of the Scorpion energy. Now, what does that mean? Well, we'll start with the mantra of this new moon, which I get from the Moonology deck, which is work through your fears. Work through your fears. Now, this is a new beginning. It's a new moon. So anytime that we are experiencing a new moon, it's super dark outside. And I actually usually record these readings when it's like first thing in the morning. And I was called to record this at night. And so this is kind of a first. I hope that the lighting is all working out just fine. So thanks for sticking with me with that. But anywho, about Scorpio. Scorpio is a very deep, intense sign ruled both by, well, traditionally by the planet Mars, which is about aggression, energy, direction, things like that, masculinity, sure. And then also modernly by the planet Pluto, which in astrology, it is a planet. It's more about like transformation. It is called a generational planet because it moves so slowly. So we're kind of working with these two different energies of like that Mars energy of directness, swiftness. Also strategy is very much a Scorpion kind of energy. And also Pluto, which is very much transformational and getting to the depths. It's also very psychological. So those are all themes that are going to be coming up in today's reading. Now, we have two different decks to pull from. We have this beautiful tarot deck. It's called the Harmony Tarot deck, and it does use seasons. And the reason why I picked this deck today is because my beautiful Scorpion friend Mia, Scorpio rising, Scorpio Mars, gifted this to me, so I figured it would be perfect since it already has that Scorpio energy. And then for the Oracle deck today, we have the Love Oracle pile. So before we get into picking your pile, we always do a collective reading just to make sure that, you know, just to feel the energies of now and just see if this is resonating with you before you pick a pile. So yeah, we're gonna start with this Harmony Tarot and just see what the collective energy is for today. And we have the Two of Summer. I had a feeling this might come up just because it was out earlier. So Two of Summer, you might think that might be Two of Fire, but actually I believe this is Two of Cups. Oh my gosh, I'm actually so happy it's Two of Cups. Well, Two of Summer again. And it's really nice because, you know, we're in Scorpio season right now and it's just so dark outside early and not very summery, you know, like summer has died. It's the end of fall. So I really love Two of Cups anyway, because Two of Cups is all about relationships, especially romantic relationships. So that might be coming up for us today. There's a beautiful sun at the top, which is all about illumination. And it's kind of funny because the crystal I also picked for this deck for today is orange calcite. Mercury retrograde is messing with me still, so thank you for your patience, y'all. But orange calcite, and it is a very solar kind of energy and like solar plexus, which is associated with the sun. So I really love that these plants are growing towards the sun, you know, being illuminated by or being fed and receiving nutrients from that beautiful sun, as well as a key at the bottom. There's a beautiful key with like a little heart with an eyeball on that key. And it's very interesting because Mia, again, the person who gifted me this deck or who I got this deck from, she she and I have been working with Hecate, and her symbol for Hecate is this key. And basically she's been receiving this message like, hey, you have this key to, you know, open the door or lock doors that are not meant for you. So I feel like this card is really inviting all of us at this time to evaluate our relationships, period. But honestly, this is giving more romantic energy. So, you know, evaluate, like, if you're not in a relationship, evaluate what you want. If you're asexual or something, like, again, you can see this as a different relationship. You guys can put 2 and 2 together and make sure these messages can work with you. But if you are, you know, single, maybe like opening the key to like what you actually want, getting really clear on what you want so you can attract that divine partnership that you are looking for. And if you are in a relationship, really evaluating what's working and what's not. Scorpio is about, I think of Scorpio as like compost. And so sometimes things need to die to then give enough nutrients for a new life to be born. And again, this new moon is, or any new moon really, is about planting a seed, you know, new beginning of some kind. But in order to have a new beginning, you need to be clear on what is in that soil. So very, very beautiful card. If love's on your mind, you're in the right place. Okay, now we're gonna pull from this love oracle deck and see what comes up. And we have 11, which is change, and the imagery here is scissors cutting some long hair, or it's about to cut some long hair. There are butterflies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 butterflies specifically. 5s to me do symbolize change. So this card for sure is very symbolic. Also, it's so funny we're talking about relationships, because if you've ever had a friend, or maybe yourself, like, you know, you go through a breakup and then you all of a sudden need to have bangs, you cut your hair and you're like, okay, new me, I'm getting my hair cut, or you dye your hair, or you switch up your appearance somehow. That is a physical embodiment of change. And so I feel like there's a lot of change going on for this Scorpio new moon, maybe with your perspective. Again, we're evaluating our psychology, our feelings about things, and truths come up. Scorpio is about, it's like the detective of the zodiac as well. So a Scorpio can really feel the energies of a person and know, maybe not intellectually, but they know by feeling that the energy of the person. So if there's something off, they will want to investigate that, and they will, they're probably not going to trust so easily. So the messages I have for this, well, and I love that they have butterflies too, because I actually just covered this lamp with this butterfly handkerchief, and butterflies are symbolic of change and transformation, and a transformation that also doesn't exactly come easily. A caterpillar has to go into this cocoon, then completely dissolve, and then become this butterfly. But that's not the end of the process. The next step is then working so hard to emerge from that cocoon. Work really hard to emerge from that cocoon. And, you know, if you try to help a butterfly get out of its cocoon on its own, it will not survive. Like, if you try to help it, it can't survive, because it needs that challenge. It needs that pressure to be able to fight its way out, to have the strength to then survive and thrive. So those are the messages that are really coming through here, is like, what are these challenges that are being presented to us? And are they being, you know, are we accepting them as an opportunity, or are we in more of a victim mindset of like, woe is me? Why is this so painful? Why do I have to go through this suffering? Those kinds of things. So I really think this is really beautiful. And also with the scissors cutting hair, that seems pretty permanent as well. So it just seems like certain parts, again, if you're not breaking up with someone, you don't have to. It could be like literally, maybe it's time to break up with someone. That's kind of where I'm at right now, actually. But it also could just be like, hey, let's permanently cut out some of these like problematic behaviors in this relationship or mindsets or expectations, because that's what's keeping us from, you know, being where we need to be. It's kind of funny because this change card is an 11, and 1 + 1 is 2, which is the 2. It really seems like partnership is coming out strong for us today. And then I actually had, I was journaling today, and it's funny because I accidentally miswrote something, but then it became my mantra for this new moon. If I can remember it, I meant to bring it with me. Actually, I think I did write it down, but it's, let me just look. Oh yeah. All is well. That was originally what I was trying to write, because I was kind of like internally freaking out because change is not easy, you know, but I ended up writing, something along the lines of, it looked like all is wealth. So all is well, all is wealth. And so if we have this perspective that our changes are actually, you know, and our struggles and these challenges are happening for our benefit, we can see it more as like a wealth of opportunity rather than something bringing us down. A wealth of opportunity. Yeah. So just be aware of these changes and try to keep a positive mindset about it, because, you know, any door that closes leaves an opportunity for, you know, another door to open, or personal growth, things like that. So without further ado, we'll keep those out in case they become relevant later. I also have this beautiful chicken dish. What's in the beautiful chicken dish, you might ask? There are a plethora of good luck charms. So I will also be integrating a good luck message with these readings today. I did forget a little bit last time. I will not forget this time. Fingers crossed. But yeah, so just to also encourage you, like I do this with all of my readings, because sometimes when we receive messages, they can feel really heavy. Some people are really scared of tarot too, because a lot of, you know, scary movies make it to seem, you know, a certain kind of way. But if you're here, you're probably a little more open-minded. But just know that whatever messages come through, they're not meant to scare you. They're not meant to bring you down. They're meant to empower you. And just to give it a little sweetness, we're inviting in a good luck charm to tell you also what good luck is coming your way if you embody the messages of these cards. So without further ado, you get two options. You either get to pick the tarot oracle, or the tarot or oracle. Okay. So option number 1 is going to be the tarot deck, and this is the Harmony Tarot, right? And the crystal that is associated with that is also the orange citrine. So if either of these items are calling to you, pick option 1. All right. And option number 2 is going to be this love oracle deck and this crystal quartz, this beautiful crystal quartz piece. So if you're looking for clarity on a situation, or if either of these items are resonating with you, then you're going to want to go with option number 2. Okay. And you know what? If you are really feeling called to both, you are welcome to listen to both messages. And if you're not resonating with these, I have a bunch of other videos you can check out that might resonate more with you. Okay, so without further ado, let's start with group number 1. Welcome, group number 1s. I'm super grateful that you are here with me today to uncover the messages that you need to hear at this time from Spirit. I am feeling called to pull 3 cards for us today. Okay, and we have the Ace of Summer, which is the Ace of Cups, first thing coming up, which is in perfect alignment with the group reading, which is the Two of Cups. So Ace of Cups, or Ace of Summer, again, that's this deck. It really is giving a warm, powerful self energy. It is kind of giving me Aries, honestly. Like, I'm confident in who I am. I lead by, you know, just leading with my head, but also my heart, you know, like if I feel like I need to take action, I'm going to do it. If I feel called to it, it almost feels like Knight of Cups energy too, which is like just wearing your heart on your sleeve and letting things flow. If you need to cry, please cry. If you need to, you know, just wash the day off with a bath, like, please do that. It is a Scorpio new moon at this time. So like Scorpio is a water sign. It's a fixed water sign specifically. So there can also be some stubbornness in the air. And so we might want to encourage some flow, because Scorpio is associated, well, how I think of it anyway, is like the swamp. So let's like move some of that stagnancy and start something new, especially during this new opportunity of a new moon, you know, especially emotionally. The moon does symbolize like our emotions, but also just like our deeper needs and desires as well. So this is really about getting clear on like what you need to feel emotionally secure. Okay. Because that's different for different people. For, you know, an Aries moon like myself, you might really feel impulsive and need like a lot of like just moving with the punches to feel emotionally secure. And like if someone restricts your emotions or whatever, you feel stifled and like you can get angry. You know, but a different energy would maybe be let's say Pisces moon. Okay, they're Aries and Pisces are like so opposite to me in a way, but Pisces moon is so watery. So like a Pisces might need to feel like nurtured to feel emotionally secure, you know, a Pisces moon. And, you know, they are very fluid and immutable. So just flexibility with their flow. So just get clear on what you need. And especially with that beginning overall message of partnership and love, things like that, you know, it takes two to tango. And if you can't hold your own, if you don't know how to get your own needs met, your relationship will not be successful because you are putting your needs aside, or you're not getting your needs met. So you can't show up in the best way that you can. And you might build resentment towards your partner or whatever. So it's just a new beginning. It's really nice. It's a new emotional beginning, and just really getting clear on like, what's it going to take for you to really feel aligned with your journey, but also like with nature, and just feel like you have all the nutrients you need, because this sun is like perfectly radiating on this flower in this imagery. And so there's no shadows, there's no coverage, like, you know, no blockages here. So I really think this is a great opportunity for all of us who picked this pile to, yeah, just get aligned with where we feel like we can grow the most freely without feeling so heavy. Another thing that has been coming up a lot with this new moon specifically is just like things getting in the way. It's like, why is this taking forever? And we are in a Mercury retrograde right now. So like that makes perfect sense, you know, but like even setting up for this video took me like 30 minutes, which it usually does not take me that long, because I was like, oh my gosh, I need the lighting, whatever. And then last night, my friend Mia and I were doing magic, and we were doing like a cord cutting actually with our past selves, because we don't want to keep betraying ourselves like we have done in the past. And it literally took forever to set it up. The candles kept falling, like things just were not working out. So I feel like if things are not working out for you, like patience is required. Okay. Patience is required for you, especially with yourself, Yes. Also with maybe a partner, but don't be too hard on yourself for having your needs and needing to get certain needs met. Okay. Beautiful. All right. The next card, Seven of Autumn. Autumn starts with, Mercury retrograde. Thank you for your patience again. Autumn starts with, what's the cardinal sign? Virgo? No. Virgo is summer. Libra. I'm embarrassing myself. I swear I know. I swear I know these things. But, okay. Because how these cards are organized is like whatever the cardinal sign of each season, that's the element. So if autumn starts with Libra, yeah, it's a cardinal sign. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Then this would be the element of air. Okay. And it looks like there's lavenders on here. It's a very like purple lavender kind of card, which is giving me relief, a little bit of peace. Although a 7 of swords, which this would correlate to, definitely different energy. Mischievous, like that kind of energy. But this is giving me calm, especially within the mind space. So what is it going to take for you to calm your fears? Because again, the whole mantra of this new moon is work through your fears. So if you are in a relationship and you fear being alone, like what is going to bring some peace to that? What is the root of those fears? That's really the gold that we're trying to get through with this new moon. It's like, what is the root? Because you can fear, being late for work, but do you really fear being late for work, or do you fear the consequences of not having a job, or losing your job and getting fired for being late and then not having resources to live? Like the true fear is actually rooted in not having resources, right? It's not really about being late. It's the consequences that can bring. So I am really feeling like also with the key in the overall message, like what doors need to be shut, and sometimes those doors are internal, and just to share some personal stuff, like I've been working through my own issues with this new moon, and I've had to face like a certain relationship that I'm in has really brought up a lot of shadows within me that I do not like seeing. I do not like the way that I'm showing up in this relationship in certain ways, and that's not easy to witness and look at. And, me being very Pisces as well, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to run away from things. I just want to swim away. And then I can just ignore that this is a problem. But the invitation for Scorpio in general is like, hey, let's look at these shadows. Let's turn on the lights so then we can actually see what needs cleaning. Because if you're trying to clean in a pitch black room, you're going to miss a spot. You're going to miss a lot of spots. So let's just try to bring some calm to the mind and just trust. And, that's like a huge word for this whole year. Honestly, this whole decade is like, what is going on? There's a lot of change going on. It's insane. So yeah, what can we do to just calm the mind and not get carried away with narratives? I keep giving this advice to people for recently, which is advice that I also am taking and needing to take. But it's like, especially if you have a lot of water placements like Scorpio, you can have a lot of emotional intelligence, right? You have a lot of emotional wealth to draw from. So you might get a feeling about something, and that feeling is right. Like always trust the feeling. What you want to be careful about not trusting with that is if you like put a narrative to that feeling that's not actually true, right? So the example I like to give my clients is like, if we're in a conversation and you feel something off about me, and then you put the narrative of like, you assume that, oh, Bren has an off energy, they must not like me, But in reality, maybe Bren had a stomach ache, so you were right about that feeling that something was wrong, but you mislabeled it, so just be really careful about like what you're labeling. And also another piece of advice I've been giving a lot lately is like, how can we become more curious rather than judgmental? Because we can be really hard on ourselves, especially about not showing up perfectly or whatever. But it's like, instead of us beating ourselves up and just being our own enemy, how can we just be curious? Like, oh, I did this thing that I actually don't really like that I did that. Why? What do you think that means? So for me, for example, I guess I'm sharing, it's personal share hour, but I'm hoping you can identify with some of this and it will be helpful to you. Something that I realized in one of my relationships, and actually in many of my relationships, something that's been very clear to me in this Scorpio season is I have like some control issues in relationships, and I like to try to manipulate things to make me feel safer in a relationship. When at the end of the day, you cannot control people, and it also doesn't foster healthy relationships. And so, like, yeah, getting to the root of that is like, oh, I'm trying to control things because I feel unsafe and insecure. And it's not even sometimes because of the other person. It's also because, like, sometimes I don't fully trust myself or past trauma, whatever, you know? So I feel like for you, this group especially, this is really about getting clear with you. Like, yes, the overall energy is like relationships, but for this group specifically, it's like, how are you showing up in this relationship though? Like, are you showing up in a way that is allowing everyone to show up authentically? Because there is a difference. In fact, oh my gosh, I have so many amazing friends that have given me so much gold. My friend Danny and I, again, I hope that they're okay with me sharing personal information. I feel like they would. But like we have a really beautiful friendship. We're soulmates, whatever. And recently we've had like a little bit of distance, and we both kind of have had this realization of, oh my gosh, I feel like we're kind of just growing apart. It doesn't mean we don't love each other, but like just like where we're at right now doesn't seem like it's an alignment, and it feels painful because it's like, oh my gosh, am I losing a friend? You know, do you still love me? You know, I get all these insecurities because I've lost a lot of friends, and my friends are my family. And so I was feeling all these insecurities, and they really showed me that, hey, this is just a part of life. Like, just because this is an ending, again, we're closing like this, we're using this key to just kind of like close the door for a while. Maybe close the door, but you don't lock it. You know, it's like, hey, this door is closed right now, but I still love you, and my door, you can knock and I'll open it when the time is right. You know, the door is shut right now to give you space and protection. Yeah. So just know that whatever door is closing right now also just might not be permanent. You might just need some space. Okay. Last card. Ooh. Oh, I knew. Okay. This is okay. I'll tell you what the card is first. I always get ahead of myself. So this is the Crow. It is a dark card, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it that well, but this is the Crow. It's number 16, and it is holding a compass in the dark. There's a few letters down, but anyway, it's so funny because I usually don't set things up like this, and today I did. I picked this crow to put out today. It's I believe it's a black. This is not tourmaline. I believe it's an obsidian. I'm so glad that didn't break. But this is a crow. And it's anytime there's like a really dark crystal, I always just associate that with like, it's an absorbing of energy. It's very protective. And crows have been coming up for me like crazy. Crows are messengers. Crows are also like the emo birds of the world, in my opinion. And my friend Nico gave this to me. Wow, friendship is also coming up a lot. A lot of people who are very spiritual in my life, and also my friends, seem to be coming up. So maybe this is a time for you to also lean on your friends and people who you trust to guide you through this new beginning of some kind. Especially, yeah, I love it. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting a little distracted, but whenever I see a clock, or I guess it's actually a compass, but I was seeing a clock, and it's associated with Saturn, which is time. So I feel like this is going to be a new moon where we're going to be in the dark for a while, like that crow, but that crow knows, like, hey, just with time, you're going to know where to go. You know the compass, you know your inner true north. And it's dark right now, so what do you need to do to just feel and trust and be patient? God, patience, trigger word for an Aries. Aries rising, moon, and Venus, like myself. But There's also this letter here. It's like a letter with an envelope and it looks opened. So I don't know if you need to open some mail, like you have something piled up, maybe a bill or something you're avoiding. I don't know. But I'm actually seeing it more like less of that and more as like, maybe there's someone you need to write a letter to. And maybe you don't send it, but maybe you do. I wrote a letter to someone earlier this year who I like was taking space from, and I actually didn't, I told them that I wrote it, but I didn't actually end up sending it because I told them, well, I wanted to keep it for myself in my journal just to like just have a physical representation of my mental processing at the time, because also after I wrote it, like it was a cute letter, but I was like, this is not the right thing to give to this person, you know. But yeah, maybe it would be cathartic to write down how you're feeling, or you know, you can either send it to someone, like if it's something of appreciation, or maybe burn it if you're really angry and you're just like, you need to send it away, you know. But it just seems like you know where you need to go inside, and if you feel confused, it's kind of, yeah, if you feel confused, just know that clarity will be revealed with time. You've got to learn patience. This is a patience energy. And crows, maybe you want to look more into crow medicine and just see like, what do crows teach? Like, I feel like crows are super resourceful. They also like shiny things, you know, like what are things that are actually valuable to you, because what's valuable to you might be different from other people. That's why this Ace of Cups or this Ace of Summer is coming up. It's like, what's going to help you thrive? What's going to help you grow? What's going to help you feel valued? And like love languages is also coming up, because yeah, again, more personal information, but I'm kind of in the middle of a breakup myself, and it's not that we don't love each other, it's just that like we have a lot of chemistry, but certain things are just not compatible, and so it's causing some issues. And we're just like learning a lot. Like this person has helped me learn a lot about my values and my love language. It's like, I know you love me, like really, but also there's a part of me that's like always questioning it, because you're not showing up for me in the way that I really need. Like you're not showing up in the love languages that I need, you know? So, you know, and my process too is like, hey, I have my needs and I don't need to feel guilty about them, because I also feel shame a lot of like, because I am an intense lover. I have a lot of needs, you know? And so I have shame around that, because it's like, oh, am I asking for too much? Am I too much? Period, whatever. But that person actually really reassured me, like, it's okay. We're just, you know, you're you, I'm me. And like, there's just some incompatibilities, and that's okay. So just know that you have your true north. Just give things time. Don't get in your own way by like building narratives. Like now might be a really good time to compost those narratives and just reframe things. And the new beginning is so psychological. You know, it could just be like, you know what? I'm not going to think that I'm too much anymore. Or like when I notice that I'm feeling that I feel too much, or I'm not worthy of love, or whatever it is, I'm going to get curious rather than judgmental. Okay? I do want to talk about this crystal as well. I did a little bit at the beginning, but this is orange calcite. So if this is really resonating with you, you might want to get one of your own. But it is associated, again, with that solar plexus, which is the chakra, I should say, the solar plexus chakra. And that is associated with your willpower and your desires. Like, again, there's 2 sun cards in this deck. And actually, we actually have 3 suns, because of the beginning overall reading. But like, what lights you up? What gives you life rather than what takes that away? Okay? Yeah, I love that. Okay, now we're gonna pick your good luck charm. What's the good luck for group number 1? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. I don't know if you could see that. Oh, that is a little tiny black horse. Little tiny black horse. It's so cute. Horses to me symbolize power, because like if you think about a car, we measure the power of a car by literally horsepower, right? And also back in the day when we didn't have cars, this was your wealth. Like your yeah, a horse was where you got, how you got around. It was a tool on the farm. It could help in a lot of different ways. So I would say that, like, and also the black of it too is giving, there's so much dark energy, which would make sense. It's Scorpio. Scorpio is all about, like, it's the most emo sign of the zodiac. But yeah, just like, what are you absorbing too that's not yours? Are you emotionally taking things on that aren't yours? Are you? Or are other people doing that to you? So I feel like your good luck is just going to be coming from, like, really claiming your power, not giving it to other people, not taking it from other people, because this is like a lone horse, like, fine on its own, you know? And again, you can be in relationship with people, whatever, but you've also got to stand strong on your own. And so sometimes you also have to set boundaries that the other person doesn't like, or if the other person struggles with making boundaries, sometimes you have to make that hard decision. Like, for example, like, I didn't want to break up with this person that I'm breaking up with, but, and neither do they, but we have to, because, well, and I initiated that because it's like, it's just not working. And I don't like the way that I'm showing up, you know, and I would rather end things amicably and close that door so it can be reopened, rather than, like, shutting it, locking it, bolting it, burning it, you know. It just doesn't need to be that extreme. So just, it's also just so stoic. I feel like your good luck is just like, again, you know, like, you're powerful on your own. And there's, like, a freedom element I see a lot too with this, like, good luck. It's like, liberate yourself. Sometimes we put ourselves in that cage. Like, I'm actually seeing, like, a bird cage where the door of the bird cage is open, but the bird just is staying inside because it's like, oh, it's comfortable in here, but it's boring. Like, the point of a bird is to fly. So if you keep the cage, if you stay in the cage, you never fly and you never get to see your potential, you know? So I feel like this is also just saying your good luck is going to come from doing the uncomfortable thing and the, yeah, just leaving your comfort zone rather than the thing that's going to, that was the comfort zone, you know? So group number 1, thank you so much for listening and joining me today for this. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe, share this video with someone who might benefit from these messages. And if you want to get a personal reading by me, like I said, do professional astrology, tarot, and psychic readings, sometimes mediumship. It's really up to the spirits, honestly. I go by them. But if any of that interests you, please book a reading with me at fortuneofthefool.com. And if you are in the Denver area, I host lots of really cool events like tarot meetups and astrology meetups. So if you want to learn more for yourself, please come join. And again, you can find that. Also, find me on Instagram at fortuneofthefool, all linked in the show notes. Okay? Love you. And without further ado, we are now going to go to group number 2. Here, I'll put group number 1's energy over there. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. Okay. Welcome, group number 2s. You are a group number 2 if you chose this Love Oracle deck and this clear quartz crystal. So hopefully we're going to find some clarity up in here for this reading. Alrighty. So, we already have a card flying out for you. And this is a newer deck. It feels so crisp and clean. I really hope that I don't bend it. But, you know, if it bends, it bends. That's part of the thing here. Okay, got to accept. You know, maybe that's actually a message Spirit wants me to relay to you, is like, sometimes things are out of our control. We have to just accept things. You know, people might not be behaving in a way that we like, and we can't control people. So we have to just accept it. So, all right. And the way that these fell out is very interesting to me too. Okay, we're going to start with the first card, which is 3, number 3, my personal favorite number, which is give and take. And it looks like someone is building a tiered cake, almost like a wedding cake, with clouds. Very dreamy. There's some fruit on there, fruity. And there's a tea kettle and some dishes that are kind of floating around. Interesting. This is a very mystical deck. And this is not the first time I'm working with this deck, but it is a newer deck. So I've never drawn this card actually before, which I love to explore new things. So threes are about creation and creativity. And so when we are talking about give and take, especially in love, because again, this is a love oracle. So this is love. This is a love reading. Like, honestly, I don't usually do just love readings like in these pick a card readings, but this is a love reading because at the beginning we did pick a Two of Cups energy. Okay. And I did decide to use love. It's literally a love oracle. So it's obviously about love. Anyway. I digress. So, in order to build a relationship that's healthy, in order to create a relationship of our dreams and desires, because this is such a dreamy energy, it requires a balance of give and take, right? Because sometimes we're going to have moments where we're going to need a lot more from our friends or our people we love than others. Like if we're in crisis or, say a parent dies or something, like you're going to need a lot more support from your friends than you can give at that time. Right. But this needs to be balanced because you can't then just suction off all of the energy from the people who are giving to you, because then it's not going to be reciprocal and they're not going to have the capacity or energy to continue giving to you. So I'm not sure what situation you are in necessarily that is calling for this, but you could also be in a position where your friend's been going through a hard time and maybe in crisis for literally years. And you're just like, I love you. I love this friend. And also I can't take it anymore. I'm like so tired. Because this is I'm not getting a lot out of this relationship. And I just feel like I'm being the giver. Because also in this imagery, you can't really tell if that hand at the top is placing the strawberry on top or if they're taking it. So I feel like this card is really it's inviting you to evaluate whatever relationship you're thinking about when this card came out, what the balance is going to require. And sometimes balancing relationship is not ideal. Earlier this year, I had to tell a suicidal friend, like they were in crisis and I showed up for them. I put aside a lot of things to support this person. And, I'm really grateful that they are still alive and they are doing better. But these kinds of things like depression, all that stuff, it doesn't just go away overnight, So I was in a difficult position where I felt really guilty because I was like, I'm feeling so drained. I put aside so many things. I'm actually falling behind in work. I'm falling behind in all these other things. I'm experiencing my own grief over so many other things. And so I had to tell this suicidal friend that I couldn't show up as much anymore, and that was really scary for me because I felt like if I, took away what I was giving, that they might not survive. And that's literally life and death, and that was one of the hardest things to do. But that person's still alive. And we had a conversation recently and they actually were telling me how much they respected that and how they were grateful that I told them directly where I was at rather than over giving to a point that I burnt out and then just stop talking to them or something, So that actually was an opportunity for us to become closer rather than, go south. So, wow, I'm really feeling the darkness of the Scorpio right now because I'm like, dang, I'm really sharing. I don't know if you listen to group number 1, but I'm sharing a lot of personal stuff today, which I don't know. I don't always love doing, but Spirit's calling me to do that. So that's okay. Because it also is nerve-wracking to share personal stuff because it's I don't always show up perfectly. Not everyone always will agree with how I show up, So yeah, it's okay if people also don't agree with what you need to do to balance this give and take. you know, but as long as you're feeling good with yourself, that's what truly matters at the end of the day. All right. Let's see what's next. Oh, longing. Longing, number 20. I also can relate to this energy. It's like this beautiful feminine figure who is holding a waxing crescent moon on a swing, and there is a bright star in the corner, just one. And then she is swinging over some like, they're giving off like Soviet kind of buildings, like cold, dark, or post-Soviet. What am I thinking? Whatever. They're just like cold and dark and like gross. So, longing. I'm feeling a little bit of loneliness. You know, your needs aren't getting met. You're kind of drifting. You're fantasizing, and it's seeming more like your fantasy is a better place to live than reality. You know, it's like, oh, well, if only I met the perfect person who could meet all my needs, then I could be happy. If only I had the perfect job, or if only I had XYZ, everything would be fine, you know, and I would feel emotionally secure, and I could build from that. And there's a beauty in longing. I just want to I don't know. The message that I'm really getting is for the longing is you got to be grateful for what you do have, because like it's honestly giving me, you know what it's giving me? If you are a tarot reader, it's giving me 5 of Cups, which is about looking at the 3 cups that have spilled and that you've lost, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is so sad. I can't believe all these things that I lost or that I don't have, whatever. When you also have 2 full cups behind you, which will, you know, get you through to the next thing. So I feel like you getting really clear on what you really do want, what's actually important, and also getting clear on what you have, because it seems like you have more than you are giving credit to, you know. And I'm seeing this also as like your talents. Like you're not even giving yourself enough credit for like how skilled you are, how much life experience you've gained, and like all of these things that you've built for yourself. You know, you're here floating around, and I don't know, this like person is like ethereal and dreamy and so enticing, yet she looks like down on all of these like dark buildings, being like, oh, but like, if only I was, you know, it's kind of giving me Little Mermaid too. Like, if only I was down with the people, you know. And it's like, okay, Ariel, like you're living in a magical kingdom in the ocean. Like, please, like it's better there than on Earth sometimes. I mean, not in the movie, obviously, but like, you know what I mean? It's like in this image, it's just giving like, you have the whole world in your hands. You have all the potential within you, and you're looking at garbage. And Spirit's getting a little sassy, but it's like sometimes the things that you're longing for are not even good. They're not actually going to offer you what you want. So this is the Be Freaking for Real card, I feel like, coming out. And just owning who you are, owning your power, owning your willpower, and really getting clear, again, clarity on what it is that you truly desire, because there's parts of the fantasy that you're not separating from reality, and that's why you're getting so caught up with this perfection that's not actually real, or even what will actually make you happy. It's also giving me like, okay, you're wanting something, but it's not what you need or what you actually want. It's like one of those things where it's like, oh, I really want this thing, but then you get it, and then you realize like, oh, but that didn't change how I feel at all. So I actually want something else. Like you're insatiable because what you think you want is actually not the root of what you want. So be cautious about that. The last card we have here is 28, which is letting go. Wow. 28, that would be 2 plus 8 is 10. So maybe a completion. Yeah, letting go. And this is a masculine figure. So I like that it's balanced with the feminine and the masculine within you. And again, when I say those energies, it's more like active versus passive energies. And it just seems like there's certain things, like it's honestly giving similar energy to this longing. It's like you need to let go of some of these fantasies and some of these dreams that you have that are just like not actually going to give you what you want. For example, again, we're talking about love. You might be like, oh my gosh, I really want to be with this person. This is the only person that will make me happy, whatever. But it just seems like that person that you're desiring is not actually going to give you the fulfillment that you're looking for. So if you keep like investing your energy, and honestly, I'm looking at these cards and I'm like, wow, this, if I was going to pick a group, it'd probably be this one because I feel like Spirit's speaking to me like, hey, you're longing for something or a person, and they've proven to you over and over again, like your relationship with them has proven you over and over again that it's not satisfying to you. You're just always longing for something else, and or for more, or for them to change. And this is just about like, liberate yourself. Be that bird that flies out of the cage with the door open rather than staying in the cage with the door open. Or that, yeah. I don't remember if that was this group or the last group that I had said that, but the metaphor remains. It's just like Scorpio is about that compost. Remember, it's also about like work through your fears. Like, what is it about this thing that you need to let go? What is it about it that is keeping you fixated on it and like wanting to like hold so tightly to something that frankly just doesn't belong to you or isn't good for you? Substances are also coming up. So if you're someone who is escaping into substances or has some sort of escapism behavior, it's something that needs to be evaluated, and something about it needs to let go. Like if you're not ready to quit a substance, for example, like cut down at least. Like people, if you vape, you need to let that go. That is self-harm. Do not do that. I mean, it's up to you, obviously, but at the very least cut down or something, like, yeah. Something needs to let go. Those are just examples. So if those don't resonate with you, again, these are collective readings. So sometimes it does frustrate me. Like I do readings at Casa Bonita. And a lot of the times these people, like they're really fast readings. Like, we're trying to get one card for each person and then they leave, and some people, it's their first time. So they don't really understand tarot or whatever. And so they don't understand that these are metaphors. Okay. And it does frustrate me sometimes. I'm like, okay, I can't explain to every single person that, okay, tarot is a symbolic language. It is metaphorical, and you have to kind of do the math because also I don't know you. So like, if we have a one-on-one reading that's like an hour long, I can get to know you better and like get more specific, whatever. But if it's like a quick, casual Casa Bonita reading, it's like, it's symbolic. You need to do the sum of the math to figure out how that resonates with you. And if it doesn't resonate with you, fine. But like, it requires your own translation as well. Like I'm translating energies, and it's up to you to either fit that into the narrative that you're living or fit that into your life, or say, oh, this isn't resonating with me, I'm going to move on now. You have the power of that. So don't get mad at me. Wow, I feel like attitude right now. I don't really mean it like that, but please don't come at me. I'm sensitive. Okay. Okay. I will also talk a little bit about this crystal quartz too. Maybe a nice crystal quartz could be great for you at this time, especially one that's so clear like this one. The original crystal quartz I actually picked for you guys, it was longer. It's really pretty, but it was way more cloudy. And I was like, we need something crystal clear, big. And also crystal quartz is an amplifier. So, and special fact, I don't know if you knew this, but your cell phone, if you're watching this on a piece of like technology, operated by this beauty, the crystal quartz. Okay. Or clear quartz, whatever. So just know that, yeah, feelings especially might be feeling amplified at this time. And sometimes when our feelings are feeling amplified, we get carried away with narratives. We get carried away with behaviors that are more destructive rather than constructive. So just allow yourself to feel your feelings. Your feelings are informing you of things. Like if you're angry, it's informing you that you need to take action. If you're sad, it's informing you something needs to be released, or I don't know. There's like, your emotions can tell you a lot of different things, right? So just don't live there though. Don't live in these emotions for longer than they need to, because when we create a loop of sadness or a loop of stress or all those things, it just keeps feeding into itself, and that's going to make you miserable. So allow yourself to feel these feelings, but also know to have boundaries with yourself, to take a step back, especially when it comes to relationships, because when we're feeling heated or we're feeling really emotional about something, we tend to not show up as well as if we are feeling more grounded in how we're feeling, and communicating that effectively to other people. Okay. Great. Now we're going to pick your good luck charm. All right, Spirit, please help me pick the charm that will offer group number 2 the best good luck. We got another animal. Okay. We've got a cheetah. Cheetah. Very fast. Cheetahs are some of my favorite animals. I've always, like as a kid especially, I just have always been like so drawn to them. And this is big cat energy, right? It's giving strength. It's giving, do not mess with me. It's like, I want to just chill and lounge in my, cat cave, whatever. I don't know, jungle. I need to learn about these cats more. I get them confused with like leopards. There's so many different kinds of big cats. So anyway, but I'm seeing you as like, I just want to chill. Your good luck is like, you can take your time to chill, get your sleep. Like cats of all kinds love their sleep, but you do not want to mess with a big cat, because if you mess with a big cat, they will get you. They're going to attack you. They're stronger, they're stronger than you. So I would say your good luck is that you are the cheetah, like take that time to relax, take that time to chill. And also don't be afraid to set things straight with people who need to be set straight, and again, going back to this amplified emotions, it's okay to have these amplified emotions, these big emotions. Just also use tact, like instead of like a cat like that is getting really mad and attacking, or like a big cat that's doing that, I'm feeling more like it's like, oh, you're going to mess with me. I'm going to make you my little game, and I'm just going to torment you. It's kind of like a house cat that like, captures a mouse and then just keeps it alive, and it's just playing with it. It'll like release it and then recatch it and like not put it out of its misery. This mouse is just stressed, but this is on a bigger scale, this is like a cheetah. This is big cat. This is really big cat. So it seems like you're super powerful, and don't let people, take advantage of that. Don't let other people or whoever take advantage of that. Your good luck is going to come from you setting those boundaries and setting people straight when it's necessary, in the ways that's like playful and like, oh, you think you can do that? Let me show you why you cannot, So just don't take it too seriously though, either. I'm seeing that as like, make it a little game. Don't take things too seriously, and set people straight when it's necessary. Okay. Wonderful. Well, those are all the messages that I have for you, group number 2s. Thank you so much for listening. If you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, and also, send this to a friend that you might, that you feel might benefit from these messages or from the messages of my other videos, because I do these pick a card readings twice a month. So, definitely go check out other videos if this resonated with you. And if you would like a personal reading, something more in depth, something more personal to you, I do offer astrology, tarot, and psychic readings. So if you want to book any of those, go to fortuneofthefool.com or Fortune of the Fool on Instagram. I also host some awesome astrology and tarot events. So if that it excites you, if you want to learn more about how to do this yourself, I believe everyone can read cards. Like I believe everyone understands symbols. So even if you don't know the meaning of a tarot card, you can find meaning through the images. So if you want to learn more about that yourself, and you live in Denver, Colorado, I do host events that will help you learn that. And same with astrology. So thank you all so much for joining me, and stay foolish.